So hop on, say hello. Sometimes I can see your comments, sometimes I can't. So if you say something and I don't respond, just know it's not out of ill intent. I just can't see your comment till after I stop streaming. I was trying to find the socks that I want to give away next. They're super cute and they're Marchish, and I'll have to find them and then post them. But we'll give away the pair today. That is the Grumpy Bear socks. So we'll give those away at the very end. Good morning. Hello, Michelle. I'm going to talk about a couple of things, two things. First one is going to be, good morning. Hi, Lisa. First one is going to be something to deal with. Let's talk about, someone had a great conversation with me this morning, and they were talking about setting up energy shields. And if you're like, I have no idea what that means, basically just think about it as you're mentally trying to set up a barrier for yourself so that you're not affected by other people's negativity. You can think of it as setting up boundaries. And this is one of those things where there's kind of like a big variation of what people consider to be an energy shield. And so if you're in the world of cognitive land, and when I say cognitive land, I'm talking about your actual mental brain that you are using right now. So it is, if your kid comes into the room, it's the brain that you're using to talk to people. So the cognitive brain, when we're setting up, we're just going to call this shielding or protection. When we're doing that, you learn this by going to therapy, reading books. This is what I'm talking about when I say we're going to set up boundaries, right? So maybe I have a toxic person in my life and I have decided that I'm okay with being around them, but I have some really big boundaries in place. So I'm not going to do stuff like go to their house. They're only allowed to be around me in a public setting, something like that, right? That's a cognitive boundary. So you have it set up and you know what it is. And it's very easy to see. You can write it down on paper. And that's a cognitive barrier. Now, if you're working with energy, then energy boundaries are clear over on this other side. And you'll hear people talking about, I have a bubble around me, or I have a shield, an energy shield that I've put in place, right? So if you live in a very physical cognitive land, this whole shielding bubble thing probably sounds really out there, like it's something from Harry Potter, okay? Now, the problem is that we get into this situation where everybody wants to argue about whether or not there really is a shield and whether or not blah, 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 right? And then I get certain people that tell me that they've been in therapy forever and nothing ever works. And I have certain people that tell me that they've done energy healing forever and nothing ever works. And so I'll tell you what the problem is. Western medicine therapists focus only on the physical. They focus only on the cognitive mind, only on the physical being. People that are practicing energy healing focus mostly only on the energetic part of the body and the energetic part of your mind, which we call the subconscious. Very rarely does anyone come together and realize that without a connection between the two, you really cannot have complete success. And that's why I find clients that are like, well, I've done this and nothing's working. I've done this and nothing's working. And I say, okay, we have to bring this together a little bit, okay? If we only focus on your cognitive mind and we only do things that are things that you do in therapy, right? Where your therapist gives you homework and you're supposed to do this and you're supposed to do that. And we completely ignore the subconscious and trapped emotions and things that are underlying in your subconscious that are creating problems for you that you're not even aware of. What's going to happen? You're never going to reach your ultimate awakening. You're never going to reach your goal because, yeah, every time you go to the therapist, you walk out of there and you're like, I'm on fire. I got this. I can do it. And then life starts taking a hold and little things spark those trapped emotions and boom, you're a mess again. And so, but same thing goes, right? If you go to an energy healer and all you do all day long is only work on the subconscious, you feel really great. But then what happens when you go out into the real world? Okay, I can release things from you and I can clear past traumas, but what happens if I don't teach you the cognitive part of it, of how you need to protect yourself when you go back out into the real world? Right? Energy healing and getting onto that level works perfect if you eliminate the human part of your life, but you can't eliminate the human part of your life. You can't eliminate the relationships. You can't eliminate the people that you're going to get involved with. So you got to do it together. You got to bring both sides to the center. Okay. So when we use the cognitive mind and we use the subconscious and we make this beautiful connection between the two, that's ultimately where your healing comes. That's ultimately where you have your biggest self awakening. You can get to the point where you can just flow through life beautifully. I want to almost say flow through life effortlessly. Sure, there are still things that are going to happen, but you go from this gigantic storm to being in a really calm seas, and you can do it. I know that was pretty deep, but it really is. It's a gigantic gap that we have, that I'm seeing every day. Okay, second one. I loved this. Someone asked me a question about a family member when someone takes their life. Kind of what do I think about this as far as that person passing on? That's one of the hardest things when you have a family member that takes their own life, or a friend or whoever it is for you, is that question of what happens. What happens to them? Now, I grew up in a religion where I was taught all my life that if you decide to take your life, that's the end of it. Like, you're ultimately, that's damnation for you. You can't do that. You can't give up on the mission that you've been given from God. And so then even my own cultural religion started changing that tune a little bit as I got older. And then suddenly they were like, no, we don't really know. That's for God to decide, yada, yada. And so it relieves a lot of confusion for people that are left in that space. And it can be really, really troubling. So here's what I know. Oftentimes when I do a session, I don't do psychic readings. I don't do stuff like that. So, but when I do a session, sometimes people have a little bit of an energy attachment from someone that's passed to the other side. And so if it happens to be someone that has passed away by taking their life, I can tell you that they definitely have some burden there. And the burden isn't based off of, oh my gosh, I did that and now I'm damned to hell. The burden that they've taken on is that they know and they're watching the hurt that they've caused the people that they've left. And so a lot of times they want to make a connection because they just need to give you peace, and they're asking for that peace in return, to know that they didn't intentionally mean to hurt anyone. So do I believe that they have a little bit of a extra little thing to work through after they pass away? Absolutely. But it's no different than anyone that passes away and they've given you a inherited trapped emotion of something that they struggled with all their life. And it's very difficult for them to watch that being passed down through DNA. So just like anything else, it's an inherited thing that can be released. But with people that have done that, it's mostly just based on, they want peace, but they want the peace needs to come from them helping you to feel at peace and knowing that there wasn't anything that you could do. Literally, when a person gets to a spot where this is something that they have the ability to do, their cognitive mind, back to that whole cognitive subconscious thing, is completely disconnected. I have a box elder bug crawling on my video camera. It'd be kind of funny if he just decided to come down onto the screen, but there's a complete disconnection there, and they're not able to make rational decisions anymore. And so I always tell people, don't think of it like, stop holding someone ultimately accountable for that, because there is a massive disconnection between their thinking abilities, and they're in such a deep, dark place that they really don't know what they're doing anymore. He's literally sitting right on top of the camera. Anyway, okay, you guys, so let's give away the socks. So the winner of the socks this week is Lynn Patricia. At least, anyways, yes, your Facebook. That's what your Facebook name is. So I know you're on here sometimes. I will reach out to you. You won these Care Bear socks. Grumpy Bear socks. I give these away every week on He Flew Away. Every week on Friday. I can't find the socks that I want to do next, but they're super cute. They're little St. Patrick's Day socks. But you also get a free session with me. I know my light's on, so it's really hard to see this. Yeah, there you go. Blocked emotions, kids. Whatever you're suffering from, right? And I incorporate all aspects, like I just talked about. We focus on the cognitive mind, the subconscious, and also frequencies so that we can help you feel better. It's a beautiful process. It works fantastic. So there we are. Congratulations. And I hope you guys, I really can't see any of your comments, so I will come back and answer you if you posted something. I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day. So Moi is quarantined. Moi's been in contact with someone that is waiting a COVID test. So I will be working from home today with Jason here, which is always in and of itself an adventure. But I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your day. You know, the best part about working at home, I can wear my eyelashes and I can have my candle going. It's a win-win. See you later.